Yeah, while the Bible mentions the narrow road to life, wide road to destruction, I think Ellen White even mentions only a few walk towards salvation. And most recently, I heard a famous SDA pastor mention that though very few would be saved. What are your thoughts? I know the Bible mentions a multitude that no man can number, but someone could say it would be hard to count 50,000 people too. As someone who has always worried about salvation for myself and loved ones, this feels more discouraging because if only a few are saved, how on earth could I, in my sinfulness, ever be one of them? So I think that the reality is the majority of people through human history are not going to be saved. But that doesn't mean that there's not an innumerable host that are saved. There are 7 billion people on the planet right now. If 1 billion of them is saved, you couldn't personally count those. You look out at that mob and you go, that's an uncountable host. But it's still a minority, and that's just the people alive today. So if you look at the history of the human race, though, there are always small remnants. Noah and his family at the time of the flood. Lot and his righteous daughters. At the time of Sodom and Gomorrah. You know, the 7,000 in Israel that didn't bow the knee at the time of Elijah. But looking at numbers is really the question. It's really completely inconsequential to your personal security. What did it matter to Noah's salvation that he and his family, the only ones that got on the boat? Did he look around and say, oh, man, we're the only ones? Huh, I guess this boat won't float us. Or it didn't matter for his salvation how many others came. The only question was whether he was going to get on the boat. You shouldn't look at how many others are getting on the boat. You should just answer the question, are you getting on the boat? Period. Are you accepting Jesus? You following what he's directed in your life? It doesn't matter if the whole rest of the world rejects it. Are you going to stand on the plain of Dura and not bow the knee when the rest of the people do? Or are you going to bow? Is it group peer pressure? So don't look at the people. Keep your eyes fixed on Christ.
Don't you think, though, that it was discouraging for Noah to be preaching for 100 years and just his family? Don't you think he was discouraged by that?
I guess it depends what you mean by discouraged. If his encouragement was coming from the responses of people rather than from, well done, thou good and faithful servant, rather than honoring God and fulfilling his duty to God, where was he focusing? For his many people in this world focus on worldly responses of other people for their measurement or barometer of their personal success and validation. I'm doing well because the group told me I'm doing well. So Adolf Hitler, at the time of his power, was doing very well if you saw the massive mobs that praised him as he went everywhere, because he had a lot of support from his community. Jesus, on the other hand, was despised and rejected of men, so he didn't do very well. Okay, my point being is, discouragement, I think heartbroken might be better, saddened, grieved, disappointed, but if his focus was on fulfilling the Lord's purposes, wouldn't he still feel very successful? Through him and his family, the human race survived. The whole generations from that time, how many billions are here because of Noah?
Yeah.
Including, of course, the avenue for Messiah.